verses 35 through 39, it says, when it was daylight, the magistrates sent their officers to the jailer with the order, release those men. The jailers told Paul, the magistrates have ordered that you and Silas be released. Now you can leave, go in peace. Don't you like that? We beat you within an inch of your life. Just be quiet and get out of town. But Paul said to the officers, they beat us publicly without a trial, even though we are Roman citizens, and threw us into prison. And now do they want to get rid of us quietly? No, let them come themselves and escort us out. The officers reported this to the magistrates, and when they heard that Paul and Silas were Roman citizens, they were alarmed. They came to appease them and escorted them from the prison, requesting them to leave the city. So there were certain punishments that non-citizens of Rome could be given that citizens of Rome would never suffer. And all a Roman citizen had to do was declare their citizenship, and immediately they'd be treated favorably. If Paul had declared his citizenship earlier, they wouldn't have been beaten. They wouldn't have been flogged. Why do you think Paul waits until now and requires the magistrates to come and publicly demonstrate their contrition? This gives Paul and this little infant early church a little bit of leverage, okay, with the unfavorable magistrates there in Philippi. And so they would probably begin to look on this little church that's just starting out and treat them a little bit more with kid gloves than they might have otherwise. All right, verse 40. Then we're going to ask some questions and we'll be done tonight. It says, after Paul and Silas came out of the prison, they went to Lydia's house, where they met with the brothers and sisters and encouraged them. And then they left. So, who perhaps is in this baby church in Philippi? Well, Lydia, a strong, independent, wealthy businesswoman who had been a God worshiper. Perhaps the slave girl who had been demon-possessed, but is now set free, but now she's unemployed. And this jailer who was a law and order blue-collar employee of the state. That's the core of this little infant church that's just getting started. So, what does this intro to the church in Philippi, that this is who the church is now, what does this intro to the church in Philippi tell you about the gospel? Okay, another question. Considering this start of the church in Philippi, what do you suspect would be some of the strengths or advantages of the church? Okay, next question, last question. Considering this start of the church in Philippi, what do you suspect might have been some of the struggles and challenges for